The real question now is she the problem? Despite being one of the most successful and influential women in hip-hop history, Nicki Minaj is now at a crossroads, one not dictated by lack of talent or relevance, but by perception. A perception that she's always in the middle of drama, always fighting someone, and always deflecting accountability. And over time, fans and industry peers have grown weary of it. Nicki Minaj has undeniably cemented her status as a rap icon. With over 100 million records sold, chart-topping albums like Pink Friday and Queen influence that spans generations. She's often credited with redefining female empowerment in hip-hop and shaping the sound and style of Gen Z rap. In the history of hip-hop, few artists have redefined what it means to be a female rapper the way Nicki Minaj has. After the golden era of Lauryn Hill, Lil' Kim, Missy Elliott, and Foxy Brown, the industry had gone cold on female MCs. Nicki revived that lane. She did it solo for several years. From 2009 to 2016, she had no mainstream female rap competition. She fused rap with theatrical flair. Nicki's success created the infrastructure for today's rap girls. The idea that women could chart solo, be fashion icons, have crossover appeal, and still talk slick. That was Nicki's playbook. But where there's success, there's often controversy. Nicki's journey has been clouded by a long list of high-profile feuds, so many that they now form a noticeable pattern. With Remy Ma, it was subtle jabs until it escalated into Shether and no frauds. With Cardi B, it was the bubbling tension that erupted at a New York Fashion Week event. With Travis Scott, she claimed his album sales were boosted unfairly through merch bundles and Kylie Jenner's promotion. With Latto, it was about Grammys and generational respect. With Megan Thee Stallion, it became about loyalty and betrayal. Even alleged friction with Jay-Z has begun surfacing based on control and industry gatekeeping. In each case, fans ask the same question: is Nicki Minaj the problem? Nicki's feuds don't have to define her legacy. In fact, they can enhance it if she learns how to pivot. Imagine Nicki doing an interview or docuseries addressing each feud with maturity. No blame, no petty shots, just honesty. Think of how Jay-Z confronted his past on his previous album, owning up, making peace, and still sounding elite. She doesn't need to love everyone, but imagine a genuine collab with Cardi B or Megan. The culture would erupt. Think about Nicki and Doja doing an entire EP that's chart-shifting energy. She already mentored Coi Leray, Bia, Ice Spice, and others, but if she formally created a female rap label or a female-only cypher series, she could be known as a builder, not a gatekeeper. A final album should celebrate her journey. She can bring back old sounds from Pink Friday, revisit Roman Zelensky, pay tribute to her Trinidadian roots, and invite all generations of female rappers to the table. She just needs to step into that queen energy fully. Legacy isn't about being feared, it's about being remembered for what you gave. If Nicki Minaj wants to retire on top, it starts with letting go of the need to fight every battle. Some fans are no longer tuning in for the drama, they're tuning out because of it. But if she addresses the past with grace, elevates the next generation, focuses on culture over ego, drops a final album that reflects her journey, owns her story before others can rewrite it, then she'll walk away not just as the queen of rap, but as a global icon who rewrote the rules, outlasted everyone, and left the stage on her own terms. But despite her success, controversies and high-profile feuds have defined much of her public image. Even Nicki's disputes with powerful industry figures like Jay-Z, it started to feed the narrative that she simply cannot coexist in spaces where her dominance is challenged or shared. In the eyes of many fans and critics, it feels like Nicki sees other women as threats rather than allies, which contradicts the very empowerment she once represented. The optics of her feuds give off bitterness rather than boss energies. Ashley is newer. Generations of female rappers are embraced for their individuality, collaboration, and creativity. On platforms like Twitter and TikTok, some fans have even coined the phrase, "Nicki is fighting for a crown no one is trying to take." And that sentiment highlights a growing divide between her hardcore fanbase, the Barbs, and the wider hip-hop community. The bigger risk, though, is credibility erosion. If every single feud ends with Nicki taking shots, throwing shade, or playing victim, people will stop listening even when she's right. The more she drags herself into conflict, the easier it becomes for the industry to frame her as the problem and not the pioneer. At some point, longevity in the music industry isn't just about numbers or accolades, it's about grace, maturity, and evolution. And if Nicki wants to remain the queen of rap in the eyes of the culture, not just the charts, she might have to stop fighting imaginary wars and start building real bridges. Because when a queen is always at war, her kingdom stops growing.